Independent marketing to me is like having that freedom of unconstrained thinking, right? So I'll give you a simple example, from some of our past work. So I think everybody is familiar with the insight around ice bucket challenge, on how people have taken that to go via things viral, and have taken that up as something that they will provoke their other friends to do. So at P&G Health, right, we've taken a challenge to see how we can make more and more consumers aware about the tingling and numbness, which are like the basic symptoms of neuropathy, which people tend to ignore most of the times. And then we try and drive that awareness about how these shouldn't be ignored, and something that they need to take on. So for us, in evolving this unconstrained thinking, right, what we've said is, how do we ensure that we land this message in an impactful way with the consumers? So for that, we've merged that ice bucket challenge to this insight of people ignoring tingling and numbness. And we said, like, when your hands are in that ice bucket, or your feet are in those ice buckets, you are really going to feel that tingling and numbness. So what we've done is we've hired a couple of leading influencers and said, take this ice bucket challenge from Nero Beyond, which is our nerve care supplement brand, uh, which where you need to dip your hand in a bowl of ice for 10 minutes, for 10 seconds, my bad. Uh, and thereafter you squeeze a lemon or write something on the book and stuff, you tend to feel like how a person with a vitamin B deficiency, with the symptoms of tingling and numbness really feels, because you are not able to write or something, right? So that unconstrained mindset or thinking really helped us craft, one of such campaigns, right? So for me, that uh, is really one independent marketer's feature. And alongside, right, I would also say, the ability to take risks. Business is about taking risks and identifying the new avenues and opportunities of growth, right? So for me, that's one area that comes with, when your journey is really as an independent marketer. So we at P&G thankfully encourage that among the teams. And one particular example that I could potentially quote here is something like, what we've done with one of our leading iron supplement brand. So the traditional way to engage the healthcare professionals or the community of the doctors who identify these symptoms among the patients, and then tend to recommend if they need supplementation or the right diet, etc., for the right amount of iron in your body, uh, was meeting them in their clinics, talking about the science of our products, how we are superior as such for the problem that consumers have been facing and stuff. And at the same time, we've also uh, looked at how patients have been ignoring these symptoms, like a basic symptom of tiredness, paleness could also be like a symptom of iron deficiency. So we took that risk of partnering with them more holistically, where with them meaning the doctors community who drives this awareness among consumers, and diagnose them and guide them, and uh, also took on the challenge to drive this awareness among the consumers. So we merged both of them into a beautiful campaign called Nana Anemia. And Nana Anemia, the way it evolved was, we've came up partnering with Gynecology Society of India, and with P&G Health, we designed a bus yatra, a campaign that bus that has been designed to drive awareness along the route wherever it has been going. Right. So the reason I quote this as a risk is this is never done before. something that we have never ventured, something that never experimented on. You wouldn't really think that a brand can do campaign partnering with the leading doctors in such a way to drive that awareness with consumers. So for us, that's a big risk that we had taken, where we had created a bus yatra that went around like 20 cities in the northeast of India, and in each city we've been able to diagnose the patients basis the tests that the doctors have been doing in terms of whether they had symptoms of iron deficiency or whether they are deficient in first place, and then guiding them along on what's the right nutrition that they should be follow and stuff. And at the same time, along this journey, we've also been able to uh, you know uh, pass on the science, the scientific knowledge, with the help of the Gynecology Society body, the FOGSI of India, to several other doctors community on the need for diagnosing this iron deficiency anemia early in their life of patients. So that's a beautiful campaign. It's a smart risk that we had taken, and it definitely helped achieve our business goals, I would say. So the second thing to reiterate, I would say, as an independent marketer, is to have this ability to take such risks, and you will learn. There is as long as it's a smart risk, you will definitely pick up the learnings on one way or the other, right? Then the third thing that I would uh, say as a independent marketer is this ability to really evolve your thinking with the changing dynamics of consumers, the market, and stuff. So eh, again, I keep going back to these examples to so that it is much more easier for you to understand, right, on what I mean by this. So, a simple example that we've seen at the pandemic, impact. Obviously, it caused a lot of changes in the lives of so many people, and we did see that during that trend, the consumer started researching more and more about their own by their own on what are the supplementations that they would require for leading a healthy and good lifestyle per se. And then we realized that uh, there is something that more and more consumers are moving towards self-led purchase of some of the supplementation, especially on our vitamin E category, or where for which we have one of our premium supplements, Avion. So then we've looked at that insight again based on the trend that had evolved, and we said that traditionally we've not never been communicating this directly to consumers on the benefits of vitamin E, the antioxidant properties it has in solving some of the skin, hair, and muscle problems. And then we said, okay, why not then try and take this to the consumers, and we came up with a beautiful campaign called Avion in and Beauty On, as one of the mantras that will help solve some of the problems that the consumers would have. So, all in all, I would say, just to reiterate what really means to me as an independent marketer is, one, to have that ability of unconstrained thinking, and have that ability of taking risks, and at the same time, ensuring that you are continuously evolving your learning with the evolving consumer trends and market trends. Like I said, an independent marketer should have the ability to take risks. But at the same time, you need to build that culture that encourages this risk taking, right? So what we had done to encourage that such a culture is, created a program where the young brand entrepreneurs, we call them entrepreneurs for a reason, because entrepreneurs are always in the mindset of experiment, learn, and then expand, right? So the young brand entrepreneurs, we've created a program that will let them come up with some out of box ideas, and we then have them pitch it to the management, and then as long as the idea seems powerful that could impact, create a big impact eventually, we support them and go and experiment and come back with the learnings that we could take on the business. So encouraging that risk taking is definitely one of the key things, I would say, that will help along the journey of creating those independent marketers. The second piece that I would advise probably is staying close to the boss. And when I say boss, please don't misunderstand, because at P&G, for us, we treat consumer as the boss. So that goes into everything that we do, every marketing campaign that we develop, every innovation that we bring in is always aims at delighting the consumers and improving and making their lives better. So from that lens, we always work with consumer as the boss, as the mindset. So to be an independent marketer, you need to stay close to that boss who is your consumer and understand that person intimately in terms of the depth of insights that you mine from that consumer is going to decide and determine the uh, level of creative or innovative campaigns or products that you can bring in for your business. The third one that I would also suggest is on create to nurture this talent of young brand entrepreneurs on that journey of becoming an independent marketer. We always need to encourage them to balance this data and gut. Right? There is always a good thing to do some things that have been proven in the past, which is what the data probably is going to tell you. But at the same time, if you are not in the mindset of nurturing the new idea development, then which comes out of the gut mostly, right? So then you are not giving that freedom or creating that platform to create these such an independent marketer. So for that, we definitely, like I said in the example that I've quoted, we definitely have a platform where we do encourage people to come up with out of box ideas, not just what probably something that data might be telling us at the same time, right? So uh, like I said, overall, to create these independent marketers, I would say, create that culture of encouraging new ideas or experimentation. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to learn. You learn more probably by failing than uh, than probably it's more times when you fail than when you succeed. They would say, right? But it's always good to do and learn versus not do, and then you're not getting any learnings per se. So encourage that uh, culture of experimentation and encourage those new idea development, and at the same time encourage people to stay close and understand their consumers as in depth as possible, because that frames the heart of your business. Because end of the day, I think the businesses are evolving and they are there positioning to really touch and improve the lives of consumers, which is what we definitely believe in at P&G.